Hi, my name is Simons. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and today we're going to make a brisket, which is a traditional Jewish food. So right here we have the brisket, which is about 3 pounds or so, and I've already put the rub on it yesterday to give it more time to absorb the flavor. And the spice rub includes half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of freshly crushed black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of cumin, and half a teaspoon of dry ground sage. And I mixed that all into a bowl, and then I divided it in half for one side, half for the other side. And so now the meat is ready to be browned. So we're going to turn on the heat, about a medium. And we're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of oil, and we're going to let that heat up. And okay, so the oil is heated up. Now we're going to add our meat. We're going to try to get it, make sure it fits nicely. There we go. It's all flat. All the sides are touching the bottom of the pot so the whole thing can get brown. And we're going to let that brown for a couple minutes. Okay, so we've browned the meat on both sides. Right here you can see the meat is nicely browned. Now to the same pot we're going to add a little bit more oil, and we are going to caramelize 1 onion. That onion was cut into thinly sliced wedges. And here we have 3 cloves of garlic. Not 3, sorry, 6 cloves of garlic. And so we're going to mix that around a little bit. We want to get them nice and caramelized. We're going to turn the heat up a little bit. Yeah, we want to, we're turning it up to high because we want to just caramelize it. We don't want it to cook too much because it's going to be cooking in the oven with the meat. Yeah, so that looks starting to get brown really nicely. So to that we're going to add, here we have 2 cups of mushrooms, thinly sliced, and 2 cups of celery sliced horizontally, or, diagonally. We have half a pound of baby carrots and 3 cups of chopped leeks. So we're throwing all that in, mix it up. We're going to add a little bit more oil here. In total, I use between 3 to 6 tablespoons of oil here for the vegetables. I'm going to leave that for a minute. Okay, so the vegetables now are all ready. So we are going to add 1 cup of wine. This wine is dry red wine. I'm going to get that in. It smells so good already. Okay, now we're adding, I need to shake this first. Adding 1 cup of vegetarian no chicken broth. Also adds a lot of flavor. Okay, looking good. Now, we're just going to try to move the vegetables to the side as much as we can. And we're going to put the meat with all its juices right back in. Let's get that in. Okay, put that in. And now I'm going to squeeze half a lime onto the meat. I'm putting it in now because I want the meat to be able to absorb all the lime juice. So I'm pouring it directly on it, so while it cooks we'll have time to absorb all that lime flavor. And when I'm done with the lime, there we go, I'm going to add a few fresh herbs. So we have 3 sprigs of parsley, 3 sprigs of fresh sage, and 3 sprigs of oregano. Before I do that, I'm going to turn on the oven to 350, so it's time to preheat. I'm going to turn off the fire here. So there, we add our oregano. Let's try to get into the liquid so it all gets the flavor. I'll push it in soon again with the spoon. Here we have the parsley. Sage. Yum, I love sage. Fresh sage and oregano are some of my favorite fresh herbs. Just get that in there. Okay, now we're going to put the cover on it. And we're going to put it in the oven for about 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so after the meat finished cooking, I put the pot in the fridge to let the fat separate from the rest of the broth. And then in the morning, I threw out the fat and the herbs and the garlic. Then I separated the carrots and the celery to eat later. And then I heated up the rest of the broth with the onions and the mushrooms to cook it down a little bit to make the liquid a little thicker, to have a nice sauce. And so here we have the plate. We have the meat. I sliced the brisket and poured some sauce on it. And here you can see the mushrooms, and with it are the carrots that we cooked with it earlier. And here I made a wild rice blend with some fresh herbs, and I hope you enjoy the recipe.